Ghost of Slumber Mountain from 1919. This film is such an underrated classic, and was one of the first that Willis O'Brien worked on, who would later go on to animate King Kong from 1933, which in my opinion is one of the greatest films ever conceived. So where do I begin with this film? I guess I'll talk about the plot. The main character, Jack Holmes, who's played by Herbert Dolly, is telling his nephew about an adventure he had in the woodlands around Slumber Mountain, near the Valley of Dreams. The cabin belonged to Mad Dick the Hermit, who Holmes' friend Joe once saw carrying a strange telescope-like instrument. That night, Holmes investigated the cabin and found the instrument. Upon doing so, the ghost of Mad Dick, who's played by Willis O'Brien himself, instructs him to use it to look on the peak of Slumber Mountain. When he does, he seemingly looks back into the past, seeing a Tyrannosaurus and a Triceratops having a battle. The stop-motion effects look really amazing for the time, and if it weren't for this film giving Willis O'Brien the experience with animating these creatures, then we probably wouldn't even have had King Kong from 1933. And if we did, then it definitely wouldn't have been as iconic as it was and still is to this day. Which brings up another question about whether or not we'd have any of the great Ray Harryhausen movies. Harryhausen was inspired by the 1933 King Kong and actually got to live the dream and work with O'Brien on shoot-stock film Mighty Joe Young from 1949. But what I'm trying to say here is that this film is the reason that you're watching this video, because I probably wouldn't even be making videos if it weren't for King Kong. Anyway, the dinosaur fight looks absolutely amazing and blows me away every time I see it. The Tyrannosaurus ends up winning, and after killing the Triceratops, somehow breaks the time barrier, unless the instrument had done it itself, and begins chasing Holmes. The actors did a great job with the performance. I was a bit concerned when the film started that it would be really corny, and when the boys and uncle try to get his best friend to pose for a risque portrait, I began wondering exactly what kind of film this would be. But my fears were unfounded, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Overall, it's a great film and an absolute classic, so definitely check it out if you get the chance.